Originally, I never really knew robotics was an actual thing until I was talked to by some of my peers about a robotics club that was starting. I'm like, huh, that sounds cool, because I knew a little bit about robots by seeing like the battle bots, like competitions and everything else. I'm like, huh, that'd be kind of cool to do. So when I joined, I didn't really know what to expect. I expected like everybody to know what they were doing. I figured out robotics was more than just building a robot, getting ready for it to compete. It's the learning experience to be able to build and construct something that will actually move, and you're doing it with a team, and that provides very good work skills for in the future when you're going for a job like an engineering or a mechanic. Well, being in school, there's not really robotics can help me with much. Helps me figure some stuff out. But robotics to me is a form of like a team bonding experience. No matter like how long you've been on that team, if you're new, you get treated the same way as if you've been on that team for 3 or 4 years. And it's equal respect. The first robotics team that I'm part of, we only have 6 weeks to build. Living on a farm it's a lot of work. But with it helping me with robotics, I've learned most of my skills from welding frames together, building frames, screwing frames, building those simple mechanisms from my grandfather, because we have a lot of scrap steel that would just be lying around. And sometimes what I would do is I would go around and collect pieces of scrap steel and like just tinker around with it a little bit. As of right now, I'm planning to trying to build my own personal robot. My parents and my grandfather were kind of got into a little bit of an argument about like, oh, he's not doing this much stuff. Oh, yes, I am. I kind of dragged my grandfather into joining because the first year I joined, which is in 2017, our coach got along with my grandfather really quickly, and they could literally see everything the same way. My grandfather kept on coming back and back, and now he's technically a mentor for the... Overall, my grandfather was really helpful in developing my love for robotics, because even when we weren't at robotics meetings or anything else, I would chat with him for hours. Like at 9 o'clock at night, be chatting about the robotics team. It's really him that sparked my interest for continuing with the robotics team. And I've enjoyed it ever since. There's a quote that I found online that I don't really believe failures is an actual thing. The quote goes, "I will always win. I will never lose. Instead, I will learn." One thing we have to do is we have to go around and talk to other teams, like when we get in an alliance and we have to chat and stuff, and we can go around and ask like what the robot does and everything else. When we went to our first competition with that claw, we managed to place 16th in our competition, and we managed to get to quarterfinals, which is the farthest we've ever gotten, because last year we barely passed the 30th mark in any ranking list. So to go from 30th to 17th and 16th, that's a really big jump, and it's more because we were all focused on it. For me, robotics is more learning than the actual competition itself. I mean, competing is an exhilarating bit of action that I like to do in life. But to me, robotics is working with your team and figuring out what can and what will not work, and making friends at competitions. I mean, when it's like break time at an actual competition event, and like I'm done eating my lunch, I will go around to other teams' pits and personally chat with them and ask them like, how did you guys do this? What did you guys like to do? What made you guys come up with this idea? And that's what I enjoy seeing going to robotics competitions, is to look at how much people have enjoyed building these robots. And that's why I love robotics.